Manga-Waido.
My name is Makoto Igarashi. I'm 39. 8 years ago, I took over my dad's restaurant after he passed from heart failure. It was a store that he had started right around the end of the Showa era. And since it has been around for over 30 years, it's technically a long-established store. But now, all that remains is the history. I was sure that I could cook great food, but no one comes to my store. There are a lot of reasons. The area was being renovated, and all the neighboring offices had moved away. I didn't know what the universe had against me, but even the university moved locations. And so, we didn't even have an aunt as a customer. On top of that, a family restaurant that is recently gaining traction opened up around us. But the biggest reason is that, as much as I hate to admit it, I lost all motivation. Recently, I barely had any motivation to live. I run my own business, and that makes my life perpetually miserable. Maybe all of the regulars who had been around since my father was working all picked up and didn't come back. It was just a matter of time at this point. It had been 8 years living in this dog-eat-dog world of restaurants. I worked pretty hard, I think. It's about time to throw in the towel. It was right as I had decided to close up shop that a girl that looked like she was in 2nd or 3rd grade walked in, eyes wide open. Welcome. Oh, hey. Are you alone, little girl? Where's your mom and dad?
You don't have any customers? You're bored, right?
Huh? I mean, yeah, as you can tell. I was a little annoyed by how blunt she was, but I can't get mad at a child. Honestly, I'm so bored that it's not even good business anymore. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna close up shop soon.
Close up? Do you mean...
Terminate my business. Yeah, I was gonna quit working here now. I don't know what I'm gonna do about my loans. Oh, sorry. This isn't something I should be discussing with you.
So you're gonna be done with the store?
Yeah.
Then can you help me?
She pulled out a 1,000 yen bill and some change from her skirt pocket.
Hey, can I have a party here with that amount of money?
A party?
Yeah, renting out the whole restaurant.
I'm not sure if I could do this for this amount of money. I'm gonna be more poor than before.
What do you mean this amount of money? That's all I've got.
Oh, sorry.
Please, can you do what you can with the amount I gave you?
She was begging me, and I could tell she was serious. I tried to at least listen to hear what she had to say. Her name was Tomoe Akita. She was in 2nd grade.
It's my friend's birthday party. Her name is Yuka Murase.
Oh, a birthday party? Why don't you do it at her house, or your house?
We can't do it at my house. I'm poor. And I'm sure her house is too busy getting ready to move away.
She looked serious as she was thinking about it, and I was drawn in by her attitude. She wasn't saying this lightly. She must have also wanted to have the party as a goodbye party. Can you tell me a little more? Why are you so interested in that party?
You won't tell anyone? She told me. She told me she has pancreatoblastoma.
Apparently, the girl had to move closer to a big hospital for surgery and treatment. Pancreatoblastoma. That was a malignant tumor in the brainstem. I think half of all brain cancers in children are that cancer.
You know about diseases? Are you a chef?
Oh yeah. Don't worry about it.
She was crying because she was too scared to be doing surgery. So I wanted to do a farewell party to cheer up.
She looked at me with her innocent eyes. She must have really liked this Yuka friend. It could potentially be the last time they meet. Maybe this could help me feel better about closing up shop. Okay, sure. You can have your party at my store.
Really? Yay!
The next day, she brought her friends and they were making little meetings about the party.
Let's make a lot of flowers and put them on the wall. Yuka likes stars and animals. We should ask her classmates to fold some origami.
I was moved by all the elementary schoolers working hard to send off their classmate. Then, one day, it was the evening. Tomoe had been working hard with her classmates for the party. Then, all of a sudden, Hello, Mr. Igarashi. I have something to talk to you about your loans. I knew the day was coming. I took the banker to the table in the corner and offered him a glass of water. I was a little worried about the kids looking this way, but it couldn't be helped. I couldn't hide it anymore. I'm sorry for this, but I need you to return a portion of our loan early. But that's so sudden. I'm sorry about this. It's orders from the higher-ups. We will reorganize your loans and come up with a schedule for you. He was basically telling me I had no choice. I ended up accepting the offer and said that I would go to the bank on a later date before sending him on his way. I need to keep the store alive until the party. Finally, it was right before the party. It was just as she had ended her preparations for the party. She looked like she had something to tell me.
Hey, old man.
Yeah?
Thank you so much for listening to my demands. I look forward to our party tomorrow.
Oh, don't mention it. Let's have a lot of fun. I'm sure it'll be a great party. She looked at me, nodded, and gave the cute smile you normally saw her with.
After everything is done, I want to show you my things too. You can be excited.
Thank you. You don't have to worry about that. But I am a little curious. Are you gonna give me something?
I can't tell you yet.
Finally, the day of the party. Yuka was in a wheelchair and showed up with what looked like her mother. Her head looked a little bigger than the other kids. The tumor was pressing against her brainstem, causing stagnation in CS fluid, leading to increased cranial pressure. It's one of the typical symptoms of pancreatoblastoma. Welcome. Come on in. We have your seats prepared over there.
Wow, it's incredible.
Yuka and her mother were both surprised, and for good reason. The store was decorated with all of the decorations that her classmates had drawn and made for her. However, even the classmates were a little surprised at the gorgeous dishes that were placed out for everyone to eat.
Hey, old man. Isn't this different from our plans? We didn't order any of this expensive stuff.
Don't worry about it. This is a present from me to you. You don't have to worry about it, okay? It had only lasted 2 hours, but it was so heartwarming. The classmates had everything prepared, and it was a small presentation of sorts. Right as the party was coming to an end, Yuka's mother handed me an envelope. Oh, no. I don't need your money. Just like I had mentioned earlier, this is a present. Please take care of Yuka with that money. I couldn't do anything for my child. Once I said those words, I couldn't hold back my tears. It all came rushing out. I had a child that would have been around their age had he been alive. His name was Tomoya. I lost him 2 years ago. He had cancer, just like Yuka. Tomoya had neuroblastoma, which is the second most prominent pediatric cancer, after pancreatoblastoma. Just as you could guess from a name like neuroblastoma, it was a cancer of the neurons. In Tomoya's case, the cancer was on the adrenals, located slightly above your kidneys. We were a single-father household. His mother passed about a year after she gave birth to Tomoya. I didn't know that he had a cancer, and had him at daycare while I was working. The daycare employee had said that he was acting a little strange, but I didn't look after him like I should have. I figured that I would be fine, even if I left him alone. Tomoya's cancer had spread to his lymph nodes and his bone marrow. He couldn't even walk eventually. He loved to run. There were so many signs of the progressing neuroblastoma, and I didn't notice. By the time I had realized, it was way too late. The store was silent. I wiped my tears and looked up. I'm sorry. I know it's your party, and I just ruined it.
Don't worry about it. I appreciated your store, your cooking, and your service. Yuka, make sure you thank him.
Old man, thank you so much. I think I can push forward for Tomoya.
Yuka's kind words made me start crying again. Looking at Tomoya, she was also wiping away tears.
Old man, thank you for making our dreams come true.
They all bowed their heads. The classmates also said thank you and bowed their heads. And just like that, the party was over. Afterwards, something had changed that I didn't expect. Welcome. A table for 4? Right over here, please. The customers suddenly started flowing in. I couldn't close the store down anymore. I didn't know why, so I asked a little. Oh, hey!
Hello, the usual, please.
Tomoya brought her parents.
You look busy. You probably missed when you weren't busy, right?
Yeah, thanks to you. Come on, you guys take a seat in your regular spot. Tomoya had talked about the party she threw for her friend, Yuka, at an essay presentation. She talked about how my gift to her was incredible and how happy it made her. She spoke in front of the entire school. Because she had said the store name in her essay, all the guardians that attended the presentation started flowing into the restaurant. Everyone that attended started thanking me. Honestly, I was just thankful. Maybe this is what Tomoya was talking about when she was talking about a thank you. There was a large influx of customers. She was advertising my store left and right outside of the essay as well. My store was busy every day. I always had felt confident about my flavor, so I had a lot more regulars as well. The other day, even that banker came and was surprised at the amount of customers. We're going to be talking about an extension on the loans and possibly taking out more loans. Tomoya and her family showed up once every few months to say hello. I'm glad that I didn't just kick her out that day. It's all thanks to her. I truly believe that. A little over a decade passed since that day. One day, I saw a new employee walking into our store, dressed in a suit. She looked familiar. Oh, welcome. Huh? Are you?
Hello, owner. It's been a minute.
The girl that bowed down to me was Tomoya. It had been so long. Oh my gosh! It's been too long! How many years has it been? I remember you were trying to get into the dorms of some tough high schools, right?
Yes, I actually came by to tell you that I found a job and wanted to tell you about Yuka.
Yuka did well in surgery and rehab. However, they found that the cancer had metastasized, and after a long, hard fight, she started off on her trip to heaven.
I had talked to Yuka a lot after that. That party was often brought up in our conversations.
Once she's healthy, she wanted to throw another party. That's what Yuka said.
Yuka was so cheered on by your emotions and great food. Thank you so much.
She had tears in her eyes as she bowed down. I'm sorry. I'm the one that has to say thank you. I'm able to continue the store because of you.
Owner.
You can call me old man. So, what do you want? We need to celebrate your employment. Whatever you want, just tell me. I had to take a seat on the counter and walk back to the kitchen. I'm just a regular chef. I'm not super strong or super wise. I can't save kids. But Yuka and Tomoe and Tomoya, I wanted to be sure that I could be a man they could be proud of. Watch me, Tomoya. Dad is working hard today, too. My name is Shuda. I've been working here as a hotel staff since I graduated high school. The front staff handle all the check-ins and check-outs, in addition to reservations, morning calls, and other phone calls, currency exchange, and many more things. It's a busy but fun job, but you can't make any mistakes, especially when you're talking about managing reservations. If you double book or mess up a reservation, it's terrifying to think about.
What? I made the reservations!
I'm so sorry, sir. And that happened. It all started when I was eating lunch with Mr. Masaki.
Sorry, I accidentally booked the wrong room today. I accidentally let a third party book a room that Mr. Saito had already reserved.
I was frozen solid by how those words left her mouth. Mr. Masaki was also in the same boat. This girl, Mari, is the hotel employee's problem child. Anyway, we need to apologize to the customer. We headed back out to the front desk.
What the hell are you gonna do for me?
We were bowing our heads deeply to a furious Mr. Saito. Mr. Masaki handled the situation with grace. We apologize for causing you the inconvenience. We fortunately have an open room at the top of the floor, suite room. If that's okay with you, we can go ahead and change the room for you. We will, of course, not be charging any additional fees, as we are the ones at fault.
Huh? Are you sure? The suite? Okay then. Please be careful from now on.
Mr. Saito had agreed and calmed down. I carried his luggage to his room, and everything seemed to have calmed down, but...
Mr. Shuta, Mr. Masaki, thank you so much.
The naturally dense square Mari bonked her head as she apologized. She graduated college and started working here as soon as she did. It'll be her second year here this spring. When she started, she was really cute and she had a nice voice and was very lovable. We expected her to be the front of staff regular, but that was temporary.
Mari made a mistake again, sorry.
Yeah, saw we. Do you remember about yesterday morning's call?
Oh, I need to call at 7 a.m., but he didn't.
You do remember. What about the room key?
I accidentally gave the room 408 key instead of the 407 key, and the 408 customer that came later was super confused.
Yes, and it was a huge problem.
But it's fine if you guys support me, right?
She would say these things cutesy, and then play it off. Miss Mari, it's your second year. You can't be doing stuff like this like you're a new grad. Fix the way you talk.
Sorry, but I'm a natural. You're scaring me.
Here we go again. She's not gonna be saved. Just be careful.
I'll be extra careful.
Okay, finish your lunch. She just answered yes, sir, and went into the back. My head hurts. This is pretty rough. If we had any power over who stays and who goes, she should be fired. But we have no power to do that. I'm sure the company doesn't intend to fire her either. That's because she started working here using her connections with one of our big-time regulars, who happens to be a politician. Mr. Johto is one of our biggest big-time clients and holds parties and events at this hotel. It's not going too far if you say that he is the reason that this hotel is as bustling as it is. That's why the higher-ups can't do anything to Mari. Mari knew that, so she would just keep making mistakes and didn't care. It wasn't just that. She would say things like,
Ew, you're so gross.
to our janitorial staff. She would talk crap about the customers in the back. It was a problem before even being an employee. She really shouldn't work in a hotel. Whatever. Let's just make sure we provide as much excellent service as we can to our customers. We got this. Yes, sir. I look forward to it. Yes, sir! We always tried our best to prevent, or at least recover, any issues that Mari was causing. We finally got over the year. The new year finally arrived, and the front desk was going to start anew.
Hello, nice to meet you all.
Sonia, the new hire, was an Indian girl, and beautiful at that. Her Japanese was slightly off sometimes, but she worked hard.
Mr. Shuta, I cleaned the front.
Thank you! You really work fast, don't you?
No, sir, if I can do anything else, let me know.
She would be an excellent addition to our staff. While I was excited to have her on board, Mari was starting to run wild again. Miss Mari, the customer you had checked in yesterday requested a morning call, and he called and complained.
Ah, he did say something about that at check-in. I'm sorry I forgot to write it.
She kept making the same mistakes, and my patience was wearing thin. Miss Mari, How many times do you have to make this mistake? You've been causing a lot of problems with all of our customers.
I mean, Sonia was working with me, so I think it's her fault, too.
Huh?
She looked confused being dragged into it, but she smiled and said,
I don't understand what you're saying.
Huh? You're gonna pretend you don't know?
Pretend? What do you mean?
Sonia's lack of understanding worked out perfectly. Anyway, Sonia's still in training. You need to focus on your own mistakes.
Who are you lecturing? Whatever. I'll tell some of my relatives then.
Huh? She screamed that hysterically as she sprinted out of the front desk. She was gone for about an hour before she came back like nothing happened. I can't handle this anymore. This is seriously getting out of hand. I was right about that. Things quickly took a turn for the worse. It was about a month later. Our CEO was going to be interviewed, and it was scheduled to be at this hotel. The story was going to be about how the CEO grew up and how he came to be. This was hotel number 1. In other words, it was his first hotel that he ran and owned. It was a perfect location for the interview. However, the worst thing was that the girl who had received the instructions from the CEO was Mari.
What do you mean we don't have 3 spare conference rooms available? We're going to have 3 separate locations opened up for each of us and the interview.
The interviewer wasn't an announcer from a TV station, but rather a famous author. And there's no chance that the author wouldn't have his own room.
I thought that we should only have 1 break room for you and the author.
I'm pretty sure I asked you for 2 rooms. 1 for each of us?
She looked pretty frozen in front of the CEO, and Mr. Masaki bowed deeply. I'm so sorry, sir. It was my fault for not double-checking.
Yes, sir. You shouldn't blame it all on me.
I don't think she understands what the word blame means. It all started because Mari had said before it would be fine with 2 rooms. In other words, she didn't tell Mr. Masaki the correct information. I was about done with letting things go, but then, just at that moment,
Sir, why don't you fire Miss Mari?
Sonia raised her hand and exclaimed this. Everyone looked at her.
What do you mean?
Sonia!
This Mari, she never takes any responsibility for anything claiming that she's ditzy. She just pushes things onto people, even just before.
She kept telling him all the mistakes that she was making to the CEO.
Hey, you keep talking. I'm going to talk to my relatives.
I'm tired of that. The second someone speaks up, you say something about her relatives or some politician. She's always threatening us.
She's lying. It's all fabricated.
That's enough!
He yelled, and even Mari had to shut up from that.
I'll be looking into the matter to see what is what. But if she's right, I'll be terminating her employment effective immediately.
Sir, I'm not sure if you should make Mr. Johto your enemy.
Don't worry. Johto is one of my old friends, and I only took her in because he said that a relative couldn't find a job. Additionally, if he has any questions about my capability to run my own hotel, I will gladly answer him.
Mari was just standing there, aghast. She came back and glared at the CEO.
I'm going to squash this hotel. I'm going to ask him to put pressure on you. You remember this.
She said something out of a crappy movie and ran away. Afterwards, the author used the room for our CEO, and the interview was over. We wanted to know if Mari had tried anything at all. But that all ended up being a non-issue anyway. Mari's big-time politician uncle's party ended up losing big time in the votes. Even Johto, who was almost guaranteed a position, lost, and he couldn't get any votes, so he just lost his job. Both the annoying woman and her little relative were out of the way, and we were scot-free. About a month after the record loss, an interesting customer showed up at the hotel.
Please hire me. Even a part-time job will work. I went to 1 million interviews and they wouldn't accept me. I don't have any savings left. I can't live.
No matter how much she begged, we couldn't take her back. How could you come back to a place where you were fired from anyways? I was at a loss for words when Masaki said something.
Everyone makes mistakes. We can forgive them and even help you fix them.
Thank you, then.
But you also insulted the janitorial staff and even some of the handicapped customers. You even said you would squash this hotel. I don't want to be with anyone who would think such things. Can you leave before I call security to have them remove you?
But...
She left quietly after being shut down. What happened to her after that? Well, apparently, she started working a night job. But even then, the customer's employees slowly started to realize the kind of human that she was and chased her off. No one knows what happened to her after that. After Marty left, the amount of work that we had to worry about and the complaints declined sharply. The workplace was much better to be in. Business was booming, and even without the politician's assistance, we did well.
I didn't realize the CEO would be so understanding. I would have said something much sooner. It was my mistake.
He sometimes regrets his actions. Sonia, on the other hand...
I used this hotel for business, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't wake up from the morning call, so she came to the door and kept knocking to make sure I woke up. It really saved me.
Thank you for coming again. We really appreciate it. Enjoy your stay and have a relaxing time.
Sonia's smile brightened everyone's day. All right, let's get started.
Yeah!
We do our best today to make sure that our customers are welcomed with smiles and great service. I love this job!
My name is Ito Yamano. I was always dumb growing up. I worked pretty hard, and I even worked outside of regular hours when I had a nice teacher. However, my brain must have been missing some parts because my grades never went up. My parents just kept telling me to study harder. It was honestly annoying. That's when I was told that I was adopted. Apparently, when I was still a child, my parents died because of a traffic accident. When I was taken into a facility, my parents took me in and raised me. Of course, I knew that I should thank them, but my heart couldn't follow my brain. I was weak, so I went the wrong way. Started hanging out with the wrong crowd. I hung out late at night almost every day. By the time I joined a high school that let you in if you could spell your name, my parents stopped griping at me. They must have figured out that talking to me wouldn't change the fact that I'm not going to be smarter. However, by that time, I started figuring out that I needed to clean up my act and started realizing that I needed to be thankful for my parents as well. Stopped acting like a thug. However, I was still not good at studying and didn't understand why some people wore suits to go to work. I preferred moving my body, and that's why I started working at a company that had company dorms. And then, Dad, Mom, thank you for all your kindness. Just don't cause any fuss for others. You understand?
If there's anything we can do to help, you come back.
And that's how I left at 18. I started working at a company that was run by a man who used to be in some bad business. The company had a lot of people that had a similar background as me. If I got fired here, I probably couldn't find any other place to be employed. I was a little nervous, so I worked hard. When I explained my situation, one of my coworkers, Iwata, told me that he understood it was tough and taught me how to work. I was able to continue my job. Ah, you came back on time! Yes, sir. I learned the routes and I started learning how to move more efficiently. Nice! I'll buy you a drink. Really? Yay! I was invited by my boss, so I was excited, but...
Hey, you're 19. You better not be drinking yet. Iwata, you better not be inviting out minors, too.
We froze after being yelled at by a loud voice. Mitsuki Nishiyama. She was Iwata's superior, and she's fairly pretty, but she's not to be messed with. Both Iwata and I didn't get along well with her. When we were joking around saying working late is annoying and let's skip, she said,
You forgot that the boss invited us into his company when no one else would? You don't have anywhere else to go if you get fired here.
So we were both a little jumpy when Nishiyama was around.
If you have a minor drink, you do know what it'll look like to the CEO, right? You know, right, Iwata?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Yamano, you need to say no too.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I didn't realize that someone so beautiful could be so terrifying. We left almost like we were running away. Miss Nishiyama is seriously scary. Yeah, there are rumors that she used to work a pretty serious gang. Seriously? I can't believe it. I gotta make sure I don't get my ass kicked. I made sure to work hard when she was around so she wouldn't get mad at me. Maybe she was checking to make sure I wasn't skipping out. I could feel her staring at me often. Don't look at me. I'm working hard. When suddenly,
Here, take this.
whoa! Tossed me a coffee and I was surprised.
You're moving way more than you used to.
Huh? Oh, I'm starting to get used to it. Thank you.
You're making fewer mistakes. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Where did the angry Nishiyama go? All that was left was a cute Nishiyama. After seeing that smile, I started looking over at her more often. I noticed that she would often clean when she had time or tell some of the other employees who felt sick to go home, while she took over their jobs. She had a mouth on her, but she was very kind and cared about the details. Miss Nishiyama, I'll help out.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Her smile was seriously incredible. Is this even fair? I've definitely fallen for her. But she's older than me and I'm just a kid. There's no way she would go out with me even if I asked her. It'll be awkward, so I'd rather not try. And then one day, working every day makes me so tired. Oh, Yamano, I have an idea. What is it? I have a friend that did the I Tried Singing It challenge. We should try too. Huh? But you're not good at singing, are you? What did you say? How about we both upload videos and see which one gets more views? The person who loses gets punished. Punished how? I don't know. How about asking out Miss Nishiyama? What? Nishiyama? You asked her out and said just kidding. She'd be furious, no? I kind of want to see it. But that's kind of messed up. You can't listen to your superior? Okay, fine, we can try. I didn't want to make Iwata upset, and more importantly, maybe this was a chance to ask her out. I tried uploading a video to YouTube. As a result, I got 2 retweets, and Iwata got 4. This must be a challenge for ants. Deal's a deal. Go do the punishment. Okay, fine. I waited for my chance to ask her out with just us. I'm not sure if I was lucky or unlucky. That day, when I was organizing some paperwork, Miss Nishiyama came in and said she was going to turn off the lights soon.
Hey, we're going home. What's going on? You don't look good. You alright? If you don't feel good, you should have gone home without working late.
Oh, I actually had something I wanted to talk to you about.
What is it?
Hurry
Hurry up. If you don't say something, I'm going to go home.
I actually like you. Will you go out with me?
What?
My heart was pounding out of my chest. When I looked over at her, she was just staring at me. Oh my god, I shouldn't have asked her out even as a punishment. She sighed at me as I started to panic. She grabbed the edge of her shirt. Wait, hey, what are you doing? Why are you taking off your shirt?
Look.
But I don't want to see you naked.
I said look! You still like me after seeing this scar?
Huh? I looked at her stomach as she said, and I was at a loss for words. A large scar.
When I was around 20, I had surgery on my ovaries. This is a scar from that surgery. My post-op wasn't too good though, and apparently I'm unable to have kids now.
She left me after saying that and said see you tomorrow. I don't know if I was thinking too much, but she seemed a little sad. Afterwards, we all kept working like nothing happened. I told Iwata what had happened. He's usually a pretty easygoing guy, but he left it alone after hearing about it. Nishiyama was doing work as usual too, and would get mad if we fooled around and praise us if we worked hard. It was like nothing had happened at all. I was actually somehow more worried that she seemed normal. I ended up spending my days all worried. Why couldn't I just tell her that I don't care about a scar? I'm such a pansy. I was off that day and was walking home from the convenience store. Huh? That's our truck. Nishiyama! Are you okay? I saw the driver, Nishiyama, pulled over to the side of the road looking exhausted.
Oh, Yamano. I'm alright. I'm almost done with my deliveries.
You don't look fine at all! Your face is red and you're breathing funny. I'll switch with you. I'll contact the company too. Please rest.
It's my job. You're off today, right? It's okay. Don't worry.
Of course I'm gonna worry. The person I like is collapsing and you want me to go home? I moved her to the passenger seat and I started driving. I contacted the company and sent her off to the nurse's station. I worked the rest of the job alone. After I got back to the office, the CEO said I should go check on her, so I went to her dorm. Nishiyama said she felt better after lying down, and she seemed okay enough to smile.
Sorry about that. I'm not a good boss.
That's not true at all. I'm glad to have helped you out. I like you.
You're still talking about that crap? I told you that I can't even have kids. I'm a broken product. Liking me is a waste of time.
I fell for the woman who is tough but kind. You can't have kids? Who cares? I didn't like you because I wanted kids. I want to see you smile and be happy more. I want to do all the fun things in the world with you.
Yamano.
Besides, I'm adopted. I love my parents so much, and I know that it doesn't matter if you're related or not. What matters is that you love your child. So I'll say it again. Miss Nishiyama, please go out with me. She looked a little confused, but cried a little bit and said that it was the first time having such a stubborn subordinate.
You sure you want me? I might die young.
I'll make you happy and make sure you live long.
You might regret it if you want kids in the future.
We can just adopt. I know that adopted kids can be happy too.
You're so positive.
That's all I got going for me. I'll use my positivity to make you happy.
Okay, then promise me you'll make me happy.
Yes, ma'am! And that's how we started dating. Miss Nishiyama had lost her parents too, and that's how she was tossed around the system and ended up a delinquent. However, she's actually incredibly kind and really cute too. When I gave her chocolate on Valentine's Day, she was super red and thanked me. At a theme park, she wore little cat ears, even while complaining that someone who's almost 30 shouldn't be wearing crap like this. So, you trying to brag to me again? Yeah! She's seriously so cute, and she gets mad because I ate her pudding. She's so cute! Hey, just so you know, she's right there. What?
Eito, I said don't talk about our private life at work!
Ah! I'm so sorry! A few years later, hey, I'm the Cupid that got you two together, so you gotta look at me first. Okay.
Iwata, you shut the hell up!
You can't be scary in your wedding dress. I swore that I would make a lovely household for the two of us. Of course I'd make her happy, but if there was any kids who needed love, I would make them happy too. Mitsuki, let's have a great life together. I'm Kaito Aoi. This good-looking guy is a friend of mine I made in college, Riku Shirakawa. I look like this now, but before, I used to be fairly skinny and would be called Twig and Matchstick. Especially when I was in elementary and middle school, a boy named Leon Suga was mean. He would trip me, pull out my chair from under me, or laugh at me and bully me. Ow! Damn it, Suga, stop! Sorry, I couldn't see you because you were too small. You literally ran into me on purpose. If you don't want to be picked on, maybe you should go put on some weight, loser. I'm sure you can't, though. I was mocked every day, but I changed when I started karate. My stepbrother said, "You get stronger and show 'em what's what. Come to the dojo." He kind of dragged me into it, but that was the start. Now that I think about it, maybe he was just teasing me, but the dojo master said that I had good lines, so I thought that maybe I was able to get stronger. I wasn't good at anything athletic, so it was a little tough, but I wanted to show up Suga. My master was serious and pushed me to go hard in karate. I slowly started getting better. My stepbrother and parents even. Look at you! You got this!
You even have some muscle. I think your posture is better.
Started complimenting me, so I was happy. I'm gonna go harder! And so I did. Of course, your body shape doesn't change overnight. Suga would still mock me for being skinny, but karate was so fun that I didn't care at all about the bullying. Felt like it was a waste of time to care. Even in high school, I continued karate. In high school, there wasn't anyone around that was like Suga, so I was able to focus on karate. It was the perfect environment. I was able to win tournaments and even win scholarships for college. Even now, after I started college, I was able to push forward in karate. It's because Suga had teased me. Maybe I should thank him. I made friends other than Shirakawa too. Then one day, oh crap! I gotta return this book dye today. Sorry, Kaito, you go ahead first. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. I parted ways with Shirakawa and headed to the station when...
Huh? Are you Aoi?
I saw an annoying-looking delinquent and he started talking to me under the bridge. Huh? Suga? It was the Suga that was bullying me all throughout middle school.
Whoa, look at you! You're all grown up!
Yeah.
You're still a geek though, huh? Your clothes are so lame!
I had never seen him in high school. Why did I run into him here? Apparently he goes to the college behind the station. Brought two of his little goonies and started closing the distance. I was frustrated by his face.
I heard from some middle school friends that you're going to Manwa Uni.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Oh, hang on! I heard Manwa Uni has a lot of pretty girls. Let's have a party with them to celebrate our reunion.
No thanks. I'm gonna be going now.
What? You think you're gonna get away talking to me like that? I'm taking time out of my day to talk to you. Don't you get all hiding Miami now.
He popped his knuckle and started swinging at me. Hey, calm down. The punches were weak, so I easily dodged them all. However, his little goonies started grabbing me. I swung them around a little to dodge, but I got hit twice because they had held me down.
Look at you actually moving some.
If I hit him back as a karate ranker, there would be some serious repercussions. I think there'd be some issues with the club at school too. I needed to get out of this situation without causing more of a fuss. Can I run? Just when I was thinking about it.
Hey! What the hell are you all doing?
Shirakawa! Shirakawa, who I had separated with at school, showed up.
Kaito! You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Dude, your face is swollen. Did you get punched?
Oh, it's nothing.
Hey! Don't you ignore me! You better apologize for turning down my offer! Hey, you all better cut that shit out!
Shirakawa glared and stared them down. Suga's little goon started trembling.
Are you Riku Shirakawa? What? Why are you afraid? Mr. Suga, this guy's an ex-delinquent. He was in juvie and is seriously dangerous. Let's get out of here! What? Are you serious? You better not mess with our ace in the hole. I'll handle you all. Ah! Ah! Hey! You two better watch your back!
As soon as one of the goons started running away, all three of them vanished. It was like a manga, and he ran away with his tail between his legs. Thanks, Shirakawa. You really saved me there.
Dude,
What?
about what he said,
It's true. Sorry I didn't tell you about it sooner. Huh? You're talking about the thing with the juvie? I was surprised at what Shirakawa had told me. He was such a great guy, but he had a pretty rough past. My parents remarried and I couldn't stay at my house, so I started hanging out with the wrong crowds at night. Did a lot of bad things and got sent to juvie. The guy inside was super kind to me. He had come across an adult who was kind, and as a result, he got his GED and studied hard. As a result, he was able to join college. Sorry I didn't tell you. I figured you'd be afraid if I said I was in juvie. If you don't want to hang out with someone like me, I totally get it. What are you talking about? You're a great guy now. Don't worry about the past like that. Okay, thanks. Being honest, I was a little surprised by the story of him coming from juvie. He was so straight-edged and honest that I never would have guessed him to have such a past. But the past is the past. He's changed now and working hard. Cutting ties with such a great guy wasn't even an option. Afterwards, Shirakawa talked about his past to some of his close friends. They were also surprised at first, but none of them wanted to cut ties with Shirakawa. Don't worry about the past, man. You're way more straight-edged than me now. That's why we're all able to get along even closer than before.
thanks you guys. Seriously, I promise I won't ever make any mistakes again.
That's how we started having even more fun than before. Karate club was going well as well. I was going to be entering the next tournament for our club, and I was practicing to really train. But then some people showed up to completely ruin it all. That was when I was going home with Shirakawa. It seemed like the area around the entrance was a little sketchy. It looked like there was Suga and quite a few of his little goons around.
Yo, Aoi, I was waiting for you. I'm gonna take payback from last time.
You're so annoying. I'm not going to apologize.
You'll see what happens when you squash my reputation. I heard you have a karate tournament soon. You can't do anything back to me now. You won't be able to go to the tournament if you do, right?
He was grinning and I was pissed. However, he was right. I couldn't do anything back to him. If something happens, it'll cause problems for the club too. Worst case scenario, the whole club won't be able to go to the tournament. If I just swallow my pride and run, they started surrounding me. Some of the classmates must have realized there was something going on. He saw me, glanced, and ran towards the campus. He probably went to call for some help. I needed to hang on until then.
Hey, don't look away, idiot! You better not bite your tongue! This is what you get for making me look bad!
I needed to avoid getting hurt in a way that would affect the tourney. I bit down and prepared for a hit. That's when...
Hey! You all better wait, you pieces of shit!
I heard Shirakawa call out from behind me.
You wanna do this? You come through me!
Shirakawa! Stay out of it!
You think you can win against all of us? I'll beat both of you to a pulp!
A few minutes later, Suga and the Goonies were all face down on the ground. Shirakawa finished everything within a minute. By the time the professor had shown up, they were all unconscious.
You don't want to eat shit again! Don't ever let me see your faces again!
5 of them groaned and then ran away. We went to the office to explain the situation, but some of our friends showed up to testify as well. I'm sorry. I said I wouldn't do anything bad again. I'm sorry for betraying all of you.
You didn't do anything wrong!
Yeah, I saw it midway through, but they were all messing with you.
Besides, you came because of me. You were involved because I was there. If you don't think that these are enough, I'll get more people who saw to testify.
I'll ask my friends too.
It's the front gate. Just look at the cameras.
That's true. Let's take a look right away.
As a result, all of the evidence showed that we were simply defending ourselves. Shirakawa was off the hook. I'm so glad. I was worried what would have happened if you were expelled because of me.
Thank you all. And thanks, Kaito. I'm glad you're still able to go to tourney.
Yeah! You bet I'm gonna kick some ass for you.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna be cheering.
By the way, Suga and the bunch,
your college students seem to have caused quite the fuss at my school.
we're all expelled because our dean called their college.
My life is a mess because of Aoi! I'm never gonna forgive him!
Suga was complaining about it on his social media, but apparently even some of his Goonies didn't like the way that Suga looked down on them. Because of this event, they all avoided him and left. And not only that, they all mocked him for being the guy that got his ass handed to him within a second. He wasn't even able to make it in the delinquent world. His parents were also tired of him for going to college and still causing problems like a child, so...
You need to leave this house. It's not worth trying to get you to go to a different college.
He self-imploded because he was still just a spoiled little brat. It was all because of his own doing, though. I'm sure he'll suffer. I'm actually having a really good life with my friends and Shirakawa at school. I was able to secure some wins at the tournament, so I plan to continue working karate and living a happy life.
Come on, Kaito! The bell's ringing!
Yeah, I'm coming by! Shirakawa, let's stay good friends! Spring, the time where everyone shifts around the departments. My department wasn't any different. Because of all the shifting sales departments and promotions, the environment was changing.
I'm gonna be coming this April. I'm Aori. Nice to meet you all.
This person has been working here for 10 years or so everyone besides me knew of him. I've actually worked here for 5 years, but since there's so many departments, I wasn't able to remember everyone's faces. Aori was one of them.
Aori has been around for a while, so a lot of people probably know him. But this should be the first time for you, right?
Yes, sir. I don't think I've had a proper conversation with him before.
Okay, then this is a chance for you to become acquainted. You partner up with him. Okay, nice to meet you, Tsuchiya.
Pleasure's all mine. We were going to work as a pair, and my other coworkers looked at me as if to pity me. I didn't realize why until later. The first day after being his partner,
you know how you drive all the time during these sales runs? I'm actually pretty old, so driving is a little tiring. Let's make sure you're the driver, basically.
You mean we're not gonna swap every once in a while?
What? You got something to complain about?
No, but he got in the passenger side and started smoking. Hey, I don't smoke!
Okay, and? Our company cars allow smoking. I don't really care if you don't smoke.
I see. Like he said, our company cars did allow smoking. That doesn't mean you should start smoking without asking the other people in the car first. I didn't want to say this myself, but I was pretty introverted. I'm not the kind of person that could go against my superior. Also, if he's really that terrible, I'll just talk to the manager and ask him to let me unpair up with him. That's what I was thinking at this point. I mean, maybe he doesn't have any manners when it comes to smoking. I gotta wait. Then we took off for the sales. However, my hopes had almost immediately disappeared. He started complaining about my driving and wouldn't stop.
Dude, don't drive so slow. We're gonna lose the light of day. You're so shitty at parking. Come on, you're like 5 degrees off. Your handling is so bad. It's all shit.
He just wouldn't stop complaining about my driving. If you want to complain so much, why don't you drive? I don't know how many times I was going to say that, but I figured I didn't want to start something with someone the day that I started working with him. He started talking about his past with complete disregard for my considerations.
I was pretty wild back in the day. I was the leader of a famous street racing gang. Girls who were fans would be on the side of the road. It's so nice.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, my driving is professional level, so I get a little strict on the driving. My bad.
Yeah, you just want to brag. I mean, I guess telling the younger kids about street racing they wouldn't understand, huh? Afterwards, he kept talking about how much he was such a badass, and once he stopped that, he started complaining about my driving again. This continued on for about a week. So yeah, it's literally the worst. Yeah, he's pretty rough. I've never met him, but this is my friend who I work with, Orito. We have similar hobbies, so we hung out often.
You talked to your manager?
Yeah, but he says there aren't any other open cars and that he could really use me there. Sure, a lot of the others don't want to work with him either.
I see. Oh, I have training later too. Let's go together.
Sure, I'll drive.
Thanks, bud.
Our company has corporate training once a year, and mine was going to be next week. Generally, we use the highway with our own cars to get there. It only took like an hour by highway. Honestly, if I could stay away from Aori, I'm okay with training forever.
Oh yeah! How are you going to the training next week?
Huh? I'm gonna drive, but...
Oh, can I bum a ride?
What? Go on your own!
My beautiful car is currently in the shop, so I'll tell the manager that you're gonna give me a ride too. If you don't show up, it'll be your fault. Alrighty, let's go!
Uh-huh. This is totally harassment. But I didn't want to cause a fuss here. I just said sure and accepted the suggestion. The day of the training...
Sorry about that, letting me tag along.
You literally forced your way in.
Nice to meet you. I'm Orito. Yo, yo, yo!
We started driving and he started complaining, as usual.
What? You're not good at driving your own car either? You really have no balls, do you? Step on it a little! I think you've heard from Tsuchiya, but I'm an ex-street racer. So I just love speed!
Uh-huh.
I start getting upset if they don't step on it!
He squeezed his way onto making me drive him, and this is what he says? I rev my engine just to shut him up.
Whoa, whoa, what the hell?
You want me to step on it, right? I was pretty frustrated from the daily abuse, so I shifted gears and accelerated enough to mess with him. Funny enough, he turned a pale blue and started screaming pathetically.
Ah! You're gonna kill us! Ah!
I sped up every once in a while, but only for a few seconds at a time. He was still pretty exhausted. All right, let's swing by the next rest stop. Once we made it, he bolted to the bathroom. Orito and I let out all the laughter we were holding back. I've never seen someone scream like that! Seriously! Oh, I feel good. I felt like I'd gotten my revenge, but Orito grinned at me. Hey, I just thought of something funnier. He started talking to me about a plan. After a while, Aori came back and Orito smiled and suggested, Mr. Aori, why don't we go have fun after training? There's a nice event that I think would be perfect for you.
An event? Sure.
Sweet! I'll go ahead and make the reservations. He looked sick, and I wasn't sure if he had lost his sense of judgment, but he accepted without asking what kind of event. A few hours later, the training completed and we both started going home. About 20 minutes of driving, we made it to the destination.
What is this? The event is here?
Yeah, I think you'll have so much fun. We made it to the circuit. This was a free driving event for drifters. It wasn't too far from the HQ of the company, so Orito and I often came here. It was a weekday, so there was enough opening for all people to jump in. However, Aori doesn't know about that yet. I got into the circuit and went to the drift course pit. Orito got out of the car. Only one person can ride in the car beyond this point. I'll be waiting, so go have fun. So yeah, go ahead and put on your helmet. We're gonna be up soon.
What? What are you talking about?
He put on the helmet and I stepped on the gas.
Ah! You're slipping! You're gonna kill me!
I completed a lap around the circuit and went back to the pit. How was it? It was suddenly quiet midway through. When I looked in the back, he was unconscious, probably out of fear. That Monday, Aori was talking with one of the women in the office.
Good morning. How was training last week, Mr. Aoi? You went with Tsuchiya, right?
This woman is younger than me and started working here after me as well. She doesn't really mess with sales though, so she probably doesn't know about Aori. He seemed excited to be talking to a young female employee and didn't even notice that I was right there.
I mean, Tsuchiya was so bad at driving even his own car. Man has to be good at driving, you know. I used to be a street racer, so I'm pretty good at driving. Better than most, so...
Good morning, Mr. Aori.
Huh? Good morning.
He realized I was around and suddenly was nervous. I didn't think that I'd have to use it, but who knew it'd be useful this soon. Last week's event was fun, wasn't it? I actually have a drive recorder. Wanna see? Burrito had recorded the whole thing on his phone. It was just a video of Aori screaming the whole time. The women started laughing. Other employees heard her and started coming towards me. What's going on?
Oh, it's this video.
What is this, Aori?
Aori started arguing and defending himself because he was being made the butt of the joke.
Hey! A novice drifter is terrifying! You don't have any talent! You're a shitty racer!
I heard him complaining again, and it just sounded like someone who was completely defeated. But I decided to squash this once and for all. Alright, I'll bite. What were you driving when you were racing? What team did you race with? What turf did you call home? Tell me. He was suddenly quiet. Look, I'm just gonna tell you now. Saying you're an ex-racer doesn't mean anything. Also, I've seen you driving when you're moving the car in the garage. You really shouldn't be driving with your hand on the inside of the wheel. A good driver would know that. He ran away and said that he was sick to the manager to leave early. He kept skipping work without leave and ended up leaving. He must have been really embarrassed. From what I heard, he finally found a new job, but immediately had some problems. Apparently, one of the people he had bullied into retirement had sued him for harassment. Because of that, the rumor spread in his new workplace and he had to quit. He doesn't have any new jobs and lives at home. You really shouldn't throw your life away just because of some pride and an attitude. What an idiot. But that means I don't have to listen to his griping, so I'm glad.
My name is Yuto Yanase. I'm in my first year of high school. I'm crazy about anime, and recently, I'm really into cosplays. Not to be boastful or anything, but I'm tall and I do muscle training, so I have a pretty good reputation when I do show my cosplays at cosplay conventions. I'm also dexterous, so if necessary, I make my own costumes and accessories. In the past, people used to keep their cosplay hobbies to themselves, but I think in recent years, people are beginning to accept it quite a bit. In my class, there are people who like comic books and anime, so if I show them my cosplay pictures, people enjoy seeing them.
Yanase, you've got a good body and have a good feminine sense. You've got good things from both.
Nah, really? The girls also had a good impression of me. But of course, there were nasty people who made fun of people like me. For example, this guy, Takeda. Takeda is well known in this area for being a gangster. At school, he's violent, says nasty things, and I'm really bad with people like him. On top of that, Takeda has many other similar gangsters around him. When I entered high school, Takeda and his gang would call me up. That is, I've known Takeda since I was little. We both live in the same neighborhood, so it's really unfortunate. Hey Yuto, go buy some juice for me. And the latest comic book that's out for this week, too.
Me too. I'll pay you later, okay?
Sure, it's not just Takeda. The other guys who are with him use me as they like. I don't know what would happen if I refused to do what they asked. So even though I didn't like what was happening, I had no choice but to do as they said. The only time when I can truly be myself is when I'm wearing my cosplay. Because of the nightmarish days, I became even more obsessed with my hobby. I recorded all the anime for this season and read all the original comic books and novels. I amassed an incredible amount of knowledge regarding the comic books and anime, as well as how to make the costumes and the accessories. One day, I participated in an event for an animation that I've been into lately. The animation is about a witch girl who puts her guard down in front of one guy who happens to be the boss of her enemy with multiple personalities. This confusing setting was one of the reasons why it was popular. After I enjoyed the event, I was on my way home with a paper bag in my hand. I bought tons of goods at the event. I was also looking at my smartphone to check the SNS of the other participants. I was grinning as I walked down the street. But because my mind was completely elsewhere, I committed a stupid mistake. I didn't realize that Takeda and his gang were hanging around in the park that I was passing by.
Oh, Yuto, come over here. What have you got here?
Oh, excuse me! Hey! Please! Give that back!
What on earth? A witch girl? Hey, Yuto, you're seriously deranged. You're a freak maniac, aren't you?
Please stop! Please give it back to me! If you're going to touch it, please do so with care!
Do so with care, he says. Really, you're such a freak, man. What is this disgusting doll? There's no woman with a bust this big. This is from that animation that's popular recently, right? I've seen their TV commercials. Isn't the animation for elementary school girls?
Please don't put that on the ground! No! That's really expensive! I was half crying. Despite my body size, I didn't have much power. I felt miserable, and I couldn't do anything.
Wow, that was kind of freaky and funny. He's worth having fun with. Seriously.
See you around, Yuto. We'll be having fun with you again. The gangsters made fun of me to their heart's content and left all my figures, posters, and badges on the road. I collected all the goods that lay strewn on the road by myself and went back home. Damn, I wish those dudes would graduate and leave me in peace. It was more than half a year later that Takeda and his gang graduated and left the area. Finally, I was able to have peaceful days. But this time, I didn't have time for cosplays, because I had to study for university entrance exams. I'll definitely get into university and create a cosplay club there. And I'll enjoy doing cosplays for all 4 of my university years. My motive may not have been so pure, but I did study pretty hard. Fortunately, I got into the university I had been hoping to get into. At my university, I made more friends who were into animes than when I was in high school. I dedicated my youth to cosplays. The 4 years went by as if in a dream. After I graduated from university, I was fortunate to enter an advertising agency as a salesman, located in a different prefecture. As an anime maniac, I, of course, don't have a girlfriend. As a bachelor, I use my money for my hobby. Then one day, a female senior coworker of mine asked me,
Yanase, we're going to have a matchmaking party with the people we do business with next time. Please join us, please?
Right now, I wanted to prioritize my work and cosplay. But honestly, I did find her kind of nice. The coworker who invited me knew of my hobby, and if it's her invitation, the other participants are probably nice people too. I guess I could take her up on her offer. I got it! What should I wear for the occasion?
No cosplays, though. Since we're going after work, you can wear your suit.
Even I wouldn't dare to go in my costume. I was a little nervous about attending my very first matchmaking party, but at the same time, I was also excited about it. But it never occurred to me that the last guy I would want to meet would be attending this party.
Oh wow, it's Yuto! Hey, long time no see.
Oh, Takeda? It had been a few years since I last saw Takeda. He was wearing a business suit, but he didn't look that different, for better or for worse. As before, he started making fun of me in front of the matchmaking participants.
This guy's hobby is cosplay. He can only talk about animes and comic books. He's a freak.
Takeda, it's not good to make fun of a person's hobby like that.
A co-worker of Takeda's called Miyu Morimura reproved Takeda many times.
But Miss Morimura, listen, he's seriously spooky. He's collecting tiny figures of girls. Isn't that a crime?
Eventually, the drunken Takeda became violent and started punching me in the shoulders. Ow! Takeda, that hurts! Please stop!
What? Don't talk back at me, you creep!
The matchmaking party was a disaster for me, and I had no chance to get to know any of the girls. I will never participate in a matchmaking party with people who don't share the same interest. At least, that's what I had decided. A few weeks later, as I was making my way home.
Oh, Yuto.
Oh,
Going home now?
yes.
Then you, come along. We're going to drink with the same members as the matchmaking party from last time.
Sorry, I have a really important event now.
What? You're not great, but at least the girls like how you look, so I want you there. Or you want to say no to my offer, or what?
In the end, I was forced to go along. Takeda seemed to enjoy making fun of me as usual, and became more and more violent as he drank.
Hey, drink! Can't you drink the liquor I offer you?
Please stop! Shoulder punching, forehead flicking, making negative remarks about my cosplay hobby. Takeda was even more tyrannical than last time.
Takeda, you really should stop. You're really not being nice to Mr. Yanase.
But this comment simply fueled Takeda's anger. Takeda was interested in Miss Morimura. Even I could see that. This was jealousy.
You're good for nothing, loser!
He gave me a strong shoulder punch. I was holding a cocktail and my shirt became dirty. Douse! It's cold! Takeda, what are you doing?
Hey, Yuto! You think you're cool or something? Come over here!
Ah! Because he grabbed my collar, my shirt's button went flying.
Hey, Takeda, what are you doing? Your drunkenness is getting way out of hand. Sorry, Mr. Yanase. You need to get that washed right away. You should wipe it with this first.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks to Miss Morimura, I was able to get away from Takeda and escape to the bathroom. Jeez, Takeda is so full of himself. That dude, I really had enough this time. I was pretty pissed off. I was no longer a high school kid. I can't just let this one pass. I took out my smartphone. Takeda was waiting for me with a fierce glare as I got back from the bathroom.
Hey you, Yuto! Thanks to you, Miyu doesn't like me anymore! This is your fault, you know?
How is that my fault? I glared at him back.
What's that look on your face? It looks like I need to teach you a good lesson! Should I teach you what a real fight is like?
He grabbed my collar as he pulled me close to him. Then he said,
You have a tattoo? Are you?
If you want to, I can teach you what an adult fight is like. It was then the police came to the restaurant with their siren on.
We got a notification. Who gave us the call?
I waved to the police to show them that it was me.
Wait, did you call the cops?
Even though he said those words, Takeda looked somewhat relieved. Are you relieved? Did you think the Yakuza would be coming? I'm a good citizen. That's why I used my right as a citizen to ask the police to come here. This is how the adults fight. For your assault, please receive your punishment properly.
You son of a bitch!
That's enough! Have you no shame? I will report everything to our company.
Miyu?
Takeda looked completely disheartened. He was taken out of the store by the police. After that, I was also asked to ride in the police car and had to answer the police's questions. Because the other people at the restaurant defended me, the police believed that I was the victim. This was quite a day. I came out of the police station alone and found that Miss Morimura was waiting there.
Mr. Yanase, were you alright?
Yeah, it's no problem. Takeda is still inside talking to the police.
I'm not worried about Takeda. I'm so sorry about today.
No, it's all right. As we were making our way home, Miss Morimura said something unexpected.
Mr. Yanase, about that tattoo on your chest.
Oh, that? Did you see it?
That tattoo is the same one that the main character from the recently popular anime is wearing, right?
Yes. I actually wanted to participate in an event today after work.
I see. Oh, and I actually also like anime a lot.
Oh? You too? I learned it only later, but it was Miss Morimura who had asked Takeda to invite me to the matchmaking party. She apologized to me many more times after that for having gotten me in trouble.
I'm so happy to be able to meet someone with the same hobby. I hope we can be good friends.
Oh yes, likewise. We really hit it off and decided to get a drink. Just the two of us. I got a lucky break. I later learned from Miss Morimura that Takeda quit his job. Apparently, Takeda felt uncomfortable continuing to work at his job because his company had learned about the incident. He also made more mistakes, becoming both verbally and physically abusive in the office. Then one day, he just didn't show up to work. It seems that it also had to do with the fact that Miss Morimura and I started dating each other. He went back to his hometown alone, but this was only the beginning. Takeda couldn't find a job, and as he became friends with the local gang, he began to lose it. Together with his gang, he apparently started growing some weed. I heard this from a friend back home. One of Takeda's gang members' houses got searched, and the fact came out. Takeda wasn't there when the police came, so he avoided getting himself arrested. But after that, he skipped town, and nobody knows where he is now. In any case, I'm sure he isn't spending a good life now. As for me, I plan to enjoy my cosplay hobby without acting like I'm stronger or cooler than I really am, and be who I am. Of course, that will be with Miss Morimura.